Well, I struggle busted, but I'm here. Let's go, bitches.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. As I struggle with my microphone, it's a daily occurrence. Thank you guys for being here. Lots planned for the show today. Today is January 18th, 2021. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody out there. This is episode number 175. I won't even go into, what's up, Ray? Won't even go into all of the details and the issues, and we're here and we're gonna do it. Wow, that's we're gonna do it. So let's get to it, bitches. Didn't shave. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. But you know what? This is what it is. This is just, I've always told you guys, if you see me drinking coffee at 2 p.m. on a show, you know that the morning has been a rough one. And this is cup number 2. So, it's been an interesting go of it, but we're here. And we have so much to discuss. I feel like it's extra echoey today. Is it echoey today? Is it weird and echoey? I feel like it might be. I don't know. If it is, tell me. I'll see what I can do to fix it. I've got the microphone close. I don't know. Let's get to the chat. We got to get that first. Hey, congrats to Truck and Taco. First in the greatest decade in the history of the world for the next 2 hours, but he did not get the Triple Crown. G-Man thwarted that first with his super chat. G-Man, thank you for popping the super chat cherry. And not far behind that, great minds think alike, D-Mata with the $2 super chat, denying Truck and Taco his moment of glory. I have to tell you guys, I do have somebody keeping track of the Triple Crowns. Jeff Bell, the inventor of the Triple Crowns, has said that he will keep track of the Triple Crowns for the entire year. I was going to, and then I forget. I'm supposed to take stuff down, and I don't. So I hope Jeff keeps up with it, because it would be nice to see who wins for the year. Who is the most dedicated? Because when you're here and you super chat and you're the first like, that means you really love the show. The rest of you are sus. And yes, I started late. So yes, I will go over today. Let's do the chat. I don't know why this is not working for me. For some reason, my screen, oh, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for a while now. Let's do the chat, though. We got to get the chat shout-outs going. D-Mata's in the building. G-Man is here. We mentioned him already. Stephen Low, Uzi Vert. Current conditions at BiffNet World Headquarters, 70 degrees, dew point 47 degrees, clear skies, and windy. 100% chance I wouldn't care anymore if the Texans moved. Go on, get it. Get on, get it, get on, get it. We're going to talk about the Texans. We're going to talk about the debacle that's going on over there. We're going to get to that. Brandon Martinez in the building. Alan Denson is here. I mentioned D-Mata. Gregory Vega Jr. is in the house. John Dory, Alan Denson, Uriel Villanueva, Keith Sager. What's up, Playboy? Justin Swinford is here. Eric Resendez. Eric had me cracking up on House's stream last night. Super funny stuff, man. Who else is in the building? Jeff Bell. Speaking of the Triple Crown inventor, there he is right there. Francisco Abarca, all the way from the Hill Country. Jesus Perez, PayPal Pete. Your trophy's in the mail, Playboy. Well, it's not in the mail. All the mail is right over there, but it'll be in the mail today. SVG, what up, player? Jimmy John. Jen, hi, Jen. How are you, sweetie? Sylvia, hey, baby girl. Say. What is this? From the book of the Decalogians. That's hilarious. What's up, Aaron J. Bryant? Oh, see, God damn it. Okay. I'm sorry, people. I have to fix something real quick with the software. I thought I was like, I was even bragging to House. I was like, House, I really figured all this shit out, man. This is great. I did, but it's not great, House. It's all fucked up. So, it's been one of those days. You ever had one of those days where one of those days was one of those days? This is one of those days. What? I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so that's the chat. I missed a bunch of people. Hello, Sid. Hello, PK. All right. I'm so discombobulated, you guys. I didn't even send out the show tweet. Hey, did you notice something, you guys? Huh? Who's fancy? Daddy got a new chair. See that? That's a fancy, it's like a race car driver chair. Oh, it's so fancy. You want to see the fanciest thing about it? This sumbitch lays all the way back. Like, all the way back. Like, if I put this on, let me put this over here on Spy Cam. Look at that bad boy. I laid back in it the first time, thought I was going to die. It scared the shit out of me. I had no idea what was going on there. But I'm excited about this chair. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Ray Lucio, for the hookup. He was able to get me this chair at a deeply discounted rate. Otherwise, I would have just gone with the other chair, which, by the way, I'm giving the other chair to KD tonight. So that's what you get when you bring Daddy a PlayStation 5. You get the old chair. That's just how that works. Alan said he could see a drunken head injury coming soon. I wouldn't put it past that. I can get dental work. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. It probably wouldn't make the show any worse. Am I lying, guys? Come on, up top. Okay. Also, yeah, I'm repping. It's KD day on. It's KD on deck. He fucked up his opportunity to run the show because everyone thinks they can. But I'm gonna represent my boy. Got his shirt in, giving him the chair. It's all good. Okay. This is enough. I'm just talking, guys. It's just talk. Let's get to the sports, shall we? Because we're going to talk a lot of stuff today. It's going to be all over the map, but that's the show, right? All right, here's your sports headlines for the day after suffering a pretty traumatic loss for the Baltimore Ravens and a concussion that knocked him out of the game. Bills Mafia decided they would start to donate and donated over $150,000 to a charity out of respect to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has a charity in Baltimore that he supports that feeds children. And because of what happened, Bills Mafia decided that they would get together and they found his favorite charity and they donated. And I'm here to tell you right now, that the Bills Mafia is the deckheads of the NFL. Bills Mafia always seems to rally around people and support their charity, and it's pretty badass, and I love it. And look, they remember when Allen lost his grandmother. Josh Allen lost his grandmother. They donated to the children's hospital that she was fond of and supported. So I love that kind of shit. You guys know that. And Crescendos, we don't need to talk about last night. There was some weird stuff. Y'all, if you haven't watched Kiki Maroon's stream, you need to go check out Kiki on Twitch. She's on Twitch, and it's interesting. I love Kiki. She's just hilarious and quirky and unafraid to be herself, and I'm here for all that. But some of you may think, well, it's kind of weird. It's not weird to me. The only thing weird is watching my friend be scantily clad. And it's like, well, it's like watching your cousin. You're like, well, I'm not seems inappropriate. But Kiki is a beast, man. So Eric was watching last night, and Eric was like, man, this is awesome. Then he was like, I don't know what's going on this stream. And she basically, what happens is she rolls a dice, and then she puts on a different outfit. And it's some weird outfits. She's into that. I mean, she's a burlesque dancer and comedian. She's fucking weird in a great way. So I highly recommend her Twitch stream if you haven't caught it yet. It's pretty good. And yeah, Matt Poche, Bills Mafia are real ones. They really are. They really are. And what I like about what Bills Mafia is doing is they're quickly getting the reputation of being that fan base, that, hey, we're not just fans. We're going to do good things for people. And y'all know me. I love that shit. So I'm here for it. All right, back to the sports headlines. Urban Meyer's interviewing Anthony Weaver to become the Jags' new defensive coordinator. So Weaver lost his job with the Chargers, but now could be the DC out in Jacksonville under Urban Meyer. Chargers have hired Brandon Staley. Lions are expected to hire Dan Campbell. Eagles are expected to make a head coaching hire by the end of the week. Don't ignore those Family Feud exes. I don't know what happened there. NBA has no idea how the Wizards got a COVID outbreak, but it happened, and they can't figure it out. And I put all of these coaches things on the list because Texans are in shambles. The Texans are in shambles. And yeah, Brandon Martinez, that's what I said, man. I don't know if it's the Bills Mafia what's it called? I don't know if it's that the Bills Mafia is like the Deckheads or if the Deckheads are like Bills Mafia. I tend to believe that the Bills Mafia is like the Deckheads. That's what I'm going with. Let me fix this, by the way. That's driving me nuts too. Okay. What a show. It's off the rails. A lot of you didn't even think I was going to do this today. And why would I not? Just because you guys get days off, I don't get days off. No way. We plow ahead. All right, let's talk about this coaching change because, guys, there's some issues here. Here's the main names that are available. There are 3 jobs left. Houston, Philly, and Detroit. Philly's going to announce their hire by the end of the week, like I mentioned. Eric Bieniemy, Matt Eberflus, and Brian Daboll. Those are your main names that are left because Jacksonville, the Chargers, the Jets, and the Falcons all got off their ass and made a hire. And they did the interview process like they were supposed to. They didn't piss off any of their players. It's a whole thing. So let's talk about what's going on in this coaching search for the Houston Texans because this man is not happy. And because this man is not happy, and this man, the man on your screen, Deshaun Watson, that makes me nervous, all right? It makes me nervous because the reports are now that the damage is done. It's unrepairable, I guess you could say. And that Deshaun Watson may have played his last snap for the Houston Texans. Now, there is some ways that it could be salvageable. But Adam Schefter reporting there's a growing sense from people in and around the Texans organization that Watson is done. It's early in the offseason. There's a lot of time left, but Watson's feelings cannot and should not be underestimated, which I think the team has done up to this point. But here's the root of the problem, you guys. Because I get it. A lot of you out there are saying that the problem is Jack Easterby. Everybody says that the problem is Jack Easterby. And it is. It's one of the problems, but it's not the root of the problem. Yes, Jack Easterby needs to be gone. We've all established that long ago. But the real problem with the Texans is not Jack Easterby. The real problem with the Texans is the owner is an idiot. Cal McNair is a bumbling fool. He has fucked up this entire organization. And it's through mismanagement and lack of understanding of how to run a professional franchise. And the fact of the matter is, Just because you acquire a job via nepotism doesn't mean you're qualified for the job that you acquired via nepotism. That's what happened here. I remember a conversation before Bob McNair passed away where they said Cal McNair was going to be taking over. And I remember having a conversation on the radio. I don't remember who it was with. It might have been on Sunday with Shock or during the week with Joel, or maybe I was filling in on the Blitz. But I remember saying Cal McNair looks like an idiot. Now, he may be the smartest man in the room, but to me, the guy looks lost. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. Fortunately for me, Cal McNair has proved me right. He's an idiot. He acts exactly like he looks. He looks lost. He's lost. He looks incapable of running an NFL franchise. He's incapable of running an NFL franchise. So if you're looking for someone to blame, don't blame Jack Easterby. He just took a job. He's just holding his job down. Cal McNair had a chance to fix this. He had a chance to make it right. Not just once, not just twice, but 3 times a lady. Shout out Kenny Rogers and Lionel Richie. He could have involved Deshaun Watson in the GM hiring process and gone with somebody that Watson would have liked to see that also happened to be on the list of recommended GMs from the firm that he hired. So had he done that, Watson would have been happy. He chose not to listen to Watson and go the Patriots way, which was a total Jack Easterby move. So he listened to Jack Easterby over his head coach. So that pissed off Deshaun Watson. Then he had a chance to make it right by saying, you know what? I've been in contact with Watson. I'm going to listen to Watson. And he could have involved Watson in the head coaching search, only to find out that once Watson went public and said, I'm done with this shit, and all of his cryptic tweets, that was finally when the Texans decided to schedule an interview with Eric Bieniemy. Oh, yeah. You would have thought that was their first call? No. Even after Deshaun Watson had said, I really like that guy. Nothing. Robert Saleh should have been a candidate, if not the head coach of the Houston Texans. Did they listen to Deshaun Watson and his demands? No, they didn't. They didn't care. They don't care. So McNair had a chance to make up for it at the GM spot. Didn't do it. That's when it started. But then he had a chance to make up for it in the head coaching search. And only now has he tried to do that to repair this whole mess, and it's too little too late. But the third time that he had a chance to make up for this whole debacle with Deshaun Watson was when it came to Jack Easterby. He had a chance to fire Easterby, and he did not. He had a chance to rid this organization of the cancer that exists within it, and he chose not to out of loyalty to Easterby over his star player. And here's a quote. Sources close to Watson say this is bigger than firing Easterby. The front office executive, whom McNair says he won't fire, Watson, quote, he says, this source says that unless Cal McNair can fire himself, Deshaun Watson is not about to change his mind that he does not want anything to do with the Texans going forward. So here we are. Cal McNair has one chance left to save this franchise. Why start now? I mean, why do the right thing now? But Cal, buddy, between you and me, nobody else watching, nobody listening, ignore the 61 eyeballs and however many views this show's get. It's just me and you, Cal. If you really love the Texans, step down. Just go away. Just let mom handle it. Just do something else. I'm not even suggesting that you sell the team. Step down. Get out of the way. You have one of the best players in football, and he doesn't want to be here. What is in the water in this city where the best players in a sport don't want to be here? It's unbelievable. And you know what? I don't blame Deshaun Watson one bit. I know some guy was arguing with me on Twitter. Oh, well, they're small bets and you don't get to tell your employer who to hire. This ain't fucking Walmart, bro. Deshaun Watson doesn't work for fucking Taco Bell. It's a different dynamic. This isn't me working at Halliburton being like, I don't like my boss. Not the same shit, buddy. And if you don't realize that, Twitter guy, you're an idiot. This is a different dynamic completely. So here is the state of the Texans. Sorry, Chronicle, I wasn't stealing that. Here is where we are at with this franchise right now. I never would have thought that this franchise would be in a worse shape once they got rid of Bill O'Brien. But they are. They have somehow managed to make this worse and not better by getting rid of the guy that made it worse. So here's where we're at. And this goes beyond me shaming you and telling you don't spend money on this team until they fix this. But that's part of the solution. You're going to show up. You're going to go. I think at this point, what we have to decide is, do you support this team? And do you let them know? Because, yeah, you cannot go. People are going to buy tickets. And, yeah, I know there was a march scheduled, and Watson was like, please don't go march, by the way. Who schedules a march on Martin Luther King Day to support Deshaun Watson? I get it. You want to support him. Maybe not today, okay? Of all the days to go, why are you marching for a football player? If you're going to get together and march and take a stand on something today, oh God, maybe don't do it for a football player. Because in the grand scheme of things, that's not an issue in this country right now. Maybe go march for something a little more important, especially today. But I'm glad Deshaun Watson came out and said, hey, I'm hearing there's a march planned. I'm humbled by this. I asked the organizers of the march to cancel it for the sake of public safety. COVID is spreading at a high rate. I don't want any fans unnecessarily exposing themselves to infection. Tony said march on Columbus Day. Pretty crazy stuff. So if you're the Texan organization, is this salvageable? Can you fix this? JJ Watt's mad. Deshaun Watson is pissed. Randall Cobb, I don't know if you saw his tweet. I didn't grab it, but he basically was like, he tweeted out a picture of a guy walking into a room that was on fire with mass chaos. This organization might be the worst in football right now. And that's not me being dramatic and hyperbole and none of that. The Texans right now might be the most dysfunctional, maybe not the worst, but the most dysfunctional organization in football. And we're talking about organizations that exist like the Browns and the Jags and the Jets and the Giants. The Browns look like a model citizen right now. The Jets got their shit together on their coaching hire, at least. If you're a Texans fan, you just have to be distraught. It's a football town. We love football. Okay. God damn it. I hate this fucking microphone so much. Why? You have to be distraught. So, at least there's the Rockets. Look, I'll say this about the Texans, and then we'll talk some football, because I don't want to beat this into the ground. There's really not a... Listen, Deshaun Watson's going to do what he's going to do. And if he forces a trade, he's got all the leverage. All the leverage. And I'm sure some of y'all saw Jerome Solomon's article where he wrote an open letter to Deshaun Watson and said, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Listen, Deshaun Watson is pissed. And he should be. If you go to the owner and say, hey, I want to be involved in this, and the owner tells you okay, and then he doesn't, That's a total lack of respect on the owner's part. That's what this is about. I mean, you guys kind of get that, right? This is more than just about football. This is about Cal McNair disrespecting Deshaun Watson and saying, yeah, I'll involve you. I'll involve you. Tell me what you want. Tell me who you want, Deshaun. Tell me who you want. Well, man, I really think Jack Houston. That's pretty much what Cal McNair did. You ever sat down with somebody and started talking to them, and then they get on their phone, and you're talking to them, and you know they don't hear you. You know that your words are just falling on deaf ears right now, that person's not listening to you, that they're ignoring you, that they're just basically, you're just wasting words. Cal McNair is on his phone looking at his Instagram while Deshaun Watson is pouring his heart out to him. That's what's happening right now. He's being disrespected. I guarantee you that's the source of this anger. Not just the football decisions, but the lack of respect for Deshaun Watson and the position that he holds, not just within the organization, but within football. But why would it surprise you? The bad apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I know some of you are going to disagree with this take, and I really don't give a shit. You're talking about a man who got a job through nepotism, whose role model was a man who stood up in front of people at a meeting and said, we cannot let the inmates run the prison. That's where we were under Bob McNair as a Texans fan and organization, and that's where we are now. That's what this is. And I know you guys may disagree or you don't see it. Cal McNair is not letting the inmates run the prison. That's what he's proving. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Jack Easterby, Nick Caserio, the interview's only now when it's too late and it's a total fucking PR nightmare. But he had dug his heels in and he was not going to let Deshaun Watson dictate how he ran his organization because Dad said, you don't, quote, let the inmates run the prison. That's what this is, folks. That's what this is. And a lot of people are like, oh, no, that's not the same, Cal. No. I'm going to just not agree with you. Yeah, I talked about that earlier, Rev. You were probably late to the show, but I talked about getting a job via nepotism and you're not prepared for that or qualified for that job. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is, but he's running it like Dad ran it. Let's be real. When Bob McNair was in power of the Texans, he waited to fire Rick Smith. He was so loyal to Gary Kubiak and Don Capers and Charlie Casserly. He didn't pull the trigger and he wasn't going to succumb to the pressure of players, which is why Dwayne Brown wanted to be traded, which is why Andre Johnson couldn't wait to get the fuck out, and many other players left. And then the whole Bill O'Brien thing under Bob McNair and then under Cal McNair. These are rich, uppity white dudes who nobody's telling them what they're going to do with their money. That's what this is, folks. You can agree, you can disagree. I really don't care. But in my estimation, in my opinion, that's what's happening here. So, whatevs. All right, so let's talk some football. Let's get to it here. Let's get to it. We got to start with this Browns-Chiefs game. And man, my heart breaks for Browns fans. Jen, I feel sorry for you, sweetie. How you don't win that game after the Chiefs lose Patrick Mahomes to a concussion. I mean, you just knew. You just knew. I was out driving around buying blank t-shirts to print for the deckheads, listening to this game. And I remember hearing that Patrick Mahomes had gone out with a concussion. And I was like, uh-oh, Chad Henne's not that good. And then he comes in and throws the interception, and I was like, oh, shit. But, look, the drop-off from Patrick Mahomes, unless you have another high-caliber starting quarterback in the lineup to back him up, it's going to be a significant drop-off when you have one of, if not the best quarterbacks on the field or in the game, and then you have to go to your backup. So you just knew when that happened, well, that's it. Surprisingly, though, the Chiefs' defense kept them in it. Chiefs scored 3 points, and the Chiefs were outscored 14-3 in the second half and still hung on to win. Now, what we need to discuss, and the difference in this game, and this is why I also feel bad for Browns fans, is we need to discuss this ridiculous-ass rule about an offensive player fumbling the ball through the back of the end zone and it being a turnover, a touchback, and then awarded 20 yards and put on the 20-yard line for the defense, who would now be the offensive team. That's the bad part about this. That's a stupid-ass rule. Two things that you should change about the rule. One, if you're just adamant in the rule book that a fumble through the end zone should be turned over to the opposing team, then put it on the 1 yard line, not the 20. I heard somebody last night say it's the largest penalty. It's the biggest penalty in football. It's the biggest penalty in football. No other penalty gives you 20 yards. I mean, there are spot fouls like pass interference, but no other assessed penalty that's not a spot foul gives you 20 yards. But yet they feel like an opposing player or a player fumbling the ball through the back of the end zone at the goal line or close to it would warrant. Now, I would like to remind you, too, you can't fumble the ball forward and then recover it and do that, right? You go back to the spot of the fumble. So maybe that should be the case. In my opinion, that's what should happen. If the ball goes through the end zone and the offensive player fumbles it through the end zone, it should not be a turnover. You should give it back to either the team at the 1 yard line or the spot of the fumble. Because let's say you got a guy running and he's on the 3 yard line and the ball gets poked out and flies through the back of the end zone. Now, why would you put it on the 1? You just gave them 2 yards if the ball was fumbled at the 3. So the ball should go back to the spot of the fumble, just like it would if it went out of bounds sideline to sideline. Because you can't advance the ball the offense can't advance the ball on a fumble. So just put it back at the 3 if that's where he fumbled it. If he was at the 1 and fumbled it out of the end zone, put it at the 1. But giving the defense the ball and then putting it on the 20, if you're just adamant that this is not a turnover, then put it at the 1 or the spot of the fumble for the defense. 3 yard line, 1 yard line, whatever it may be. It just doesn't make sense. And it sucks for the Browns because it's a different ball game. Now, you could make the case that it sucks for the Chiefs because it's a different ball game if Patrick Mahomes doesn't get a concussion and leaves. Sure. It's no guarantee the Browns win this game if they don't get that touchdown. But that was a turning point in this game. So it sucks for the Browns, man. I feel bad for them, It was a fairly evenly matched game. I mean, you never felt like the Browns couldn't hang in and win this game. They just didn't. But hats off to Cleveland. That's a good squad over there. They no reason to hang their head. I mean, they lost to the best team in football. Well, I don't know. Packers might be the best team in football, but they lost to one of them. All right. Bucs Saints. Actually, you know what? I want to save Bucs Saints. Let's talk this game. What I thought was going to be a fun game to watch. Best defense in football with the Rams versus the best offense in football versus the Packers. Well, we got our answer. Defense wins championships. Not anymore, it don't, bitch. Packers just absolutely rolled the Rams. Jared Goff. I don't know what's happened to that dude, man. Packers just rolled. There was never a doubt. There was one moment where I thought, they hung around and then that fleeting moment was gone. I think it was in the second quarter when you thought, okay, you know what? This is they're still in this with their defense. They were not. Now look, 296 yards passing by Aaron Rodgers isn't groundbreaking, but when you're getting 188 yards on the ground, you don't need to throw for more than 300 yards. Packers put up 484 yards in total offense on the best defense in football. Score 32 points on the best defense in football. Packers are legit. Packers are legit and should be feared going forward. This game sucked. I'm not gonna lie. This was a boring ass game. Ravens, Bills. The Bills are a good football team, but let's be real. If they don't get an interception return for a touchdown right before Lamar Jackson goes out with his concussion, who knows what happens in this game? But I was a believer in the Bills. I mean, I picked them to win. By the way, 4-0 in my picks. Y'all got mad at me when I picked the Saints, didn't you? I digress. I mean, when I didn't pick the Saints. Pick the Bucks. Go back and look, bitches. I'm a believer in this Bills team, but I tell you what, I needed a better showing from them going into the AFC Championship game. I needed a better showing of them to believe that they could go in and handle the Chiefs. What I'm worried about, though, for the Chiefs is Patrick Mahomes, not a COVID cough, is Patrick Mahomes going to be 100%? That, obviously, is going to determine a lot when that game comes up. But Bills offensively, pretty good. Defensively, pretty good. I think that the best two teams ended up in the AFC Championship game. Believe it or not. But I tell you what, it was an ugly showing against a solid Ravens team. They looked good down the stretch. Defensively, the Ravens, I think, were second in the NFL in scoring defense. I'd have to go back and look here. Gave up the second least points in the NFL. Rams were number one. Rams gave up 18.5 points a game. Ravens giving up 18.9 points a game. But the Bills go in and manage about what the Ravens give up. Problem is, Lamar Jackson showed up in the playoffs as Lamar Jackson. Playoff Lamar Jackson, not regular season Lamar Jackson. It's becoming a trend. Is anybody else a little bit concerned that Lamar Jackson in the postseason just doesn't have it? He's the James Harden of the NFL. I saw somebody say that, and I thought, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Lamar Jackson might be the James Harden of the NFL. Great regular season. Unstoppable regular season. Not good in the playoffs. Not good enough in the playoffs. All right, last game we need to discuss what ended up being the game of the weekend. Bucks Saints. I tell you what, boy, if you're a Saints fan, it all came crashing down in just one game, did it not? 294 yards of total offense. You only get 104 yards rushing. Worse than that, 190 yards passing. The bottom line to this game was real simple. The last time that these teams played, turnovers were a big factor, and the Bucks were the ones turning the ball over. Bucks played a clean game. They didn't play a great game. They played a clean game. No turnovers, no sacks. Oh, no, they gave up one sack. But they played this was a relatively even game, even by the numbers, but you never felt like the Saints were in it because of the turnovers. You cannot turn the ball over. And I know this is groundbreaking. You can't turn the ball over 4 times in the postseason. Regardless of the circumstances of how you do it, You cannot turn it over 4 times and expect to win. Pete Jones said noodle arm Breeze showed up. Yeah. I heard one guy, he's like, yeah, he may not have the arm strength he used to, but he's still accurate. Well, I mean, he missed some throws too. Brady missed some throws with Gronk, or did Gronk just lose a step? That's another question. But I tell you what, the Bucs are a good football team. I felt like they were the better football team. That's why I picked them. But it would not have surprised me if the Saints won this game. It was evenly matched. I mean, when you look at these two teams, they are evenly matched. I think Saints are a little better defensively, but the Bucs showed up. I'm trying to see here. Yards per game on the ground. Bucs were first. Saints were fourth. It's through the air where there was a big difference. Bucs weren't even close to the top 10. Saints were top 5 in passing defense, top 5 in rush defense. But again, you can't put your defense in bad situations and bad starting field position and keeping them on the field where they're exhausted. You can't keep doing that. When you turn the ball over, you put your defense in a bad situation physically by being more tired and field position wise. So, sorry, Saints fans. I'm rooting for you, man. I got a lot of friends that are Saints fans. It sucks. I think the better team won. But it was an evenly matched game. But I think Tom Brady still has more in the tank than Drew Brees too. And that was a big factor. So, all right. I mentioned it earlier. What time is it? 2:48. It's going to be a sportsy day. It was a sportsy weekend because we still need to talk about. Harden. Let me provide a little levity here first, though. I saw this tweet today when I was doing show prep. This cracked me up. So, as you recall, there were some issues with centers over the weekend in the playoffs, not just with the Steelers last week, but this week with the Ravens. So this dude, Jimmy Goodman, tweets out, how can a football team not employ a center that can snap? Jake Olsen tweets out, it's not that hard. I can do it with my eyes closed. If you guys don't know, Jake Olsen played for USC. He's blind. That's what makes this such a fucking amazing tweet. I love this shit so much. It made me laugh and hoot and holler, and I just thought, you know what? I got to share this with the peeps. That's good shit. So, yeah, maybe go give it a like or a retweet or whatever, but that is absolutely good shit. Real quick, before we go here to James Harden, Pete Jones said no, total Dallas. DW4 is coming on down I-10 East. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I think what you have to realize is that it's going to take a lot of not just talent, but draft capital. I don't know what the Saints draft situation is, but I can tell you getting to a divisional round in the playoffs doesn't necessarily guarantee them a high pick. Texans are going to want a high pick. I mean, the Texans are going to want Trevor Lawrence in a deal. The Texans are going to want to go to the Jets or the Jags and be like, hey, not that they're trading Deshaun Watson to the Jags in the division. So that's why it may not happen this year. But it would have to be one of those, hey, we need star player, and some draft picks. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But I would be surprised if he ends up in New Orleans. I mean, they have the need, but that just because you have a need doesn't guarantee that a player goes there. Chris Davis said, send that man to the Steelers. He showed how he uses Twitter in a later tweet. What? I don't know what that means. All right, let's talk about James Harden, because the internet was going nuts over this picture of James Harden in his Nets uni on the right and his Houston uni on the left, just days apart. Which, I'm not going to lie, y'all, I need this secret. I need to know what's going on here. There were rumors floating around that James Harden was wearing a fat suit. He was wearing a fat suit while he was in Houston. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I'm going to give you my theory on what's going on here. I don't think he wore a fat suit in Houston. I think he showed up fat and out of shape. Now, I will tell you this. You can cut weight pretty quickly. Wrestlers, boxers, MMA fighters do it all the time. They'll cut 12 pounds of water weight like that. So it's very possible that he did some sort of weight cut just to look better going into the next game, and then just, diets like crazy over a couple days and this and that and the other. But I'm going to tell you what I think happened here. What I think this is, and don't his legs ain't fat, Barry. Look, bro, I'm fat as shit in my gut area. My legs ain't fat. My legs don't show fat. I just show it just where James does. Chest, chin, and midsection. Here's what I think this is. Ignore what's going on the left. I think he's got not only Spanx on, but I think he has one of those wraps that you put around your gut that hides your fat, which I need to get one. Yes, thank you, Cece. That's exactly what I didn't know it was called a waist trainer, but I think he has on Spanx. I think he has on one of those neoprene things that you put around your belly. I think he put that on first, and then he put on the Spanx. I think he is 100,000,000,000% hiding the gut while he gets in shape. But there's no way that man dropped that much weight and was healthy enough to play a basketball game and then go out and put up a triple-double and look really good. Screw that guy. I mean, you knew that was going to happen. I almost vomited in my mouth when I was reading the notes about his first game as a Net. It's just so easy when you got great players. It's just easy to go out. Man, I can't wait for Kyrie to get there. I really can't. I cannot wait to see the Nets get burned to the ground because of James Harden. Because it's going to happen. Kyrie could have done it on his own. Kyrie could have messed the Nets up on his own, and he was working on it. He was working on it. Boy, I cannot wait to see this franchise just implode on itself because of Kyrie and James fighting on the court, in the locker room. Oh, it's just going to be chef's kiss. I can't wait. It's going to happen. Mark my words. It's going to happen. One more thing about the Rockets. You may or may not have seen this. Maybe good news. I don't know. But they talked to Victor Oladipo, not Oladipo, as I put there. They talked to Victor Oladipo and getting his thoughts on staying with the Rockets. And this is what he said. He said, if it fits, things work out. If I'm happy, essentially, it's like a business plan. You got to go through every aspect of the business plan before you kind of figure out if you want to invest in it. That's better than the initial, oh, yeah, he wants to be in Miami. They might flip him tonight. At least Oladipo is saying that, which I told you guys. Expect Victor Oladipo to be professional. Even if he doesn't want to be here, expect him to go out there and play. Expect him to go out there and do his best and not be lackadaisical and just bullshit on the court like James Harden was when he wanted out of Houston. Oladipo is a professional. And he will go out there and give this team and this city 100% while he's here. Now, he may not want to be here long term, but he's not just going to go out there and roll over and be an ass like James Harden was. Total Dallas said, what if the Brooklyn Nets don't implode? What if? They will. They will. TD, they were on their way. Kyrie is already missing games. They were saying that him and Durant, their relationship has already grown distant. I like somebody, I don't know who it was, tweeted out, but they said Kyrie didn't want to be LeBron's Robin. Now, he's not even Robin. He's Alfred. You got KD as Batman. James Harden as Robin. Kyrie is Alfred. It's a great. You're going to tell me that's going to work? Those three egos, which Durant, I think, is selfless, even though I think we saw Durant's true colors when he went to Golden State as well. These are not the three most stable people on the planet. So you can sit there and what if it don't implode all you want? And if it don't implode, then they're probably playing the Lakers over the next couple of years for championships. That's the what if it don't implode. But if I'm betting my money, Brooklyn's in trouble. All right, we got to get to a break. I think that's all the sports I want to discuss today. Kyrie is Catwoman. That's some good shit, Tony. It's about time you had a good message in the chat. All right, we've got to get to a break. 5 minutes. When we come back, I got a lot of crazy bullshit to talk about. I've got a movie trailer for you from Nicolas Cage. And I know you guys think I'm negative and hate everything. And I do. But I really hate this. Like, I'm going to take that back. I don't even hate it. I'm just like baffled by somebody making this movie. It's almost, I won't spoil it. Just stick around for this. And then I've got some chick that threw glitter in her man's apartment. I've got that video. What else do I have? Some dude that got an operation to make himself taller. It's just a whole goddamn hodgepodge of stuff. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a lot. So we're going to be winging it in hour number 2. So listen, we started at 2:05. I don't think I've ever started that late unless there was a tech problem. There wasn't a tech problem today. There's just a me problem. I digress. What is this? Why is this? What the shit is going on here? Is my thing broken? Oh, it sure as shit is. Look at that. Let me move that down. Get that out of the way. Move that over. What the shit, you guys? Okay. 2:08. Wow. Thanks, PK. Jeez. All right, let's get to a break. 5-minute break. I've got a video for you. It is Martin Luther King Day. I found about a 5-minute and 18-second version of his I Have a Dream speech. I captured that for you. And that is your break video. So stick around through that. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. And we'll be back right after this. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Stick around through the break. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
A dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last."
Pretty amazing stuff right there. Welcome back to the show. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminang. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. I really appreciate it. Today is Martin Luther King Day. And, of course, I wanted to play something that I thought would be appropriate for the day. I know a lot of us hear the snippets of the speeches, and that was a snippet. I think the speech overall was over 30 minutes long. They said that a lot of the speech, he went off script. The "I Have a Dream" itself was off script some. I've always said that it's amazing to me, like the times that we live in now versus the times that came before us, in the sense that I feel like some of the characters that we see in history, I shouldn't say characters, some of the people that we see in history almost feel like characters, almost feel like they weren't real, just because of either the greatness to which they achieved or the evilness that they achieved. It is hard for me to, and it shouldn't be, but it's hard for me to kind of process that there was a moment in time in this country's history where men like Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Martin Luther King existed, and because the level of greatness that they achieved, the level of hope that they gave people, the things that they did. It's also weird though it almost feels like I didn't get to see that, right? I wasn't around for that speech. I didn't get to watch it, so it doesn't feel as real to me, even though it is real. It's 1,000% real. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but that's kind of a thing for me. It's like, I can't believe that Hitler was a real person. It's hard for me to process that Hitler was a thing. Chandler said, I feel you, Barry. Before Trump, I couldn't imagine how people just got behind Trump's shitty ideas about an entire group of people. Yeah, well, that's a great way to put it. It's almost larger than life. It almost feels like, wow. And the sad part is it's also hard for me to process that there was a time in this country where we would turn dogs and water hoses on our citizens. And that's what they were fighting for and against. It's just, it's crazy. No, I know what you meant. I know what you meant on Trump and Hitler. I get it. I'm just saying in general. Yeah, I mean, look, the list goes on and on. Medgar Evers, Malcolm X. I was around to see Ali, but not in his greatness, right? It was towards the end for me. I mean, my memories of Ali are, what was it? Decon? Was it the roach spray? It's a knockout. Ding! And then he went, poof, and he just punched the mailman or some shit. That and lighting the Olympic torch. Those are my memories of Muhammad Ali. But yeah, like you hear and you read about these great people in our history. Gandhi, Churchill. They just seem like characters, man. They don't seem real. Even when you look back in history, you realize Napoleon and, Mussolini and Hitler. And it's like, man, these almost feel like you just sat down and just wrote a bunch of bad guys and good guys for a movie and then just developed this story of history. But it was very real. And for me, I've explained this before on this show, but I think it's worth repeating on a day like today. I always grew up in my little bubble. I grew up in my little bubble of protectedness, right? My white privilege, where I didn't know about the outside world. My mom did a good job raising me. She did a great job raising me. She raised me just to love people, be nice, treat women with respect, treat everybody with respect. She taught me how to be a gentleman, open doors for women, those types of things. I never let Nora walk near the street. I mean, my mom taught me how to be a gentleman. She taught me how to be self-sufficient. She taught me how to love people. I never saw color, but I never realized that there were issues of race until I read To Kill a Mockingbird. When I read that book for school, it legitimately changed my life. Because I think about all the things that I did and how that book affected me and the journey that it sent me on. Like I would have never have met my foster brother, Dante Touche Jackson, that changed me. I would have never had the friends that I had. I think I would have lived in my bubble and maybe looked at the world differently, not seen the world through the eyes that I see it now. And that book had a profound effect on me, and it made me want to learn more about men like Martin Luther King and what they stood for and why they were fighting for what they fought for. And, the sad thing is that there's always going to be people who oppose what they fought for various reasons. And most of it is because of comfort. This is going to get weird, you guys. But I feel like I need to say this. I don't want to get too political, but I heard, let me just say this. The reason a day like today exists is because of a man and a group of people, an entire race of people fought for themselves. And they fought for what was right. And they fought for equality. And they fought for the right to be treated as a human being and not as less than the people they were fighting against. And There are some who will try to tear down Martin Luther King. Well, he was this and he was that. And let he was without sin cast the first stone. But it doesn't change the message, and it doesn't change what he fought for. And if he had flaws as a human, he wasn't infallible, but he was a great man, and he stood for great things. And I think if you dislike him as a person or what he did, I think you have to evaluate what is it in you that causes that kind of hate. And that I can't answer. And I feel sad for people that exist in a world of hate like that, which is why what's going on in this country right now makes me sad. And I get it. Some of you are going to thumbs down. Some of you are already leaving. I understand. But today's a day where this needs to be said. But I think what's going on at the Capitol, and I think what's going on in this country has less to do with politics and more to do with race. And I'm not here to shame white people. I'm not going to do that. What I'm here to say is ask yourself why it is you feel how you feel. If you feel like this country is being stolen from white people, if you feel like there's an imminent race war, if you feel like your movement or your thought process and your way of life as a white person is in jeopardy somehow, ask yourself why you feel that way. Is it because you're told to feel that way, or is it from a specific experience in your life? Because I think that's the thing when I see people hate someone for their race or their gender or their sexuality or anything else. I always wonder, where does that hate come from? Where does the hate, was it an experience? Because I can tell you right now, if you don't like Hispanics because a Hispanic did you wrong, beat you up, stole your, whatever happened in your life that caused that trauma to turn into hate, I think what you have to stop and realize is that not everybody is like that. And there's the bad apples in every bunch scenario, and yes. But I wonder what drives hate. None of us are born that way. It's learned. And it's either learned through the things our parents taught us or an experience. So I'm not telling you how to fix it. I'm not saying that there's a fix. All I'm saying is, if you're one of those people, and you know deep down in your heart, if you are, and this isn't, again, I'm not talking, Democrats and Republicans. I will say this, and I don't mind saying this. I think what's going on with Trumpism is way more about race than it is about politics. And I've heard that said, and I agree with that sentiment, and I've always felt that way. I think it was Chris Cuomo that said, not every Trump supporter is a bigot, but every bigot is a Trump supporter. It's pretty profound. And I tend to agree with that. I know a lot of people that voted for Trump that don't have hate or malice in their heart, that voted for economic reasons or party lines or whatever. And that when this shit happened, they were like, all right, that's too far. I can't be down with that. But my message to you today is, if you do have hate for another race, another gender, another sexuality, ask yourself why. And is it worth it? So, I didn't plan to do that. That just happened. I apologize if that was boring. I know some of you left. But I feel like a day like today, we spend a lot of time, hey, I got off for the day. That's cool. A lot of people out there that got off today hate black people, hate Martin Luther King, hate what he stood for, hate another race, hate another gender, hate another sexuality. But boy, they like that day off. Marsha, I appreciate that. She said, I really enjoy when you discuss topics like this. I think you might be in the minority, no pun intended, Marshall. I feel like a lot of people are like, dance, funny man, make me laugh. But you know what? I'm going to always come on this show and I'm always going to talk about how I feel. I'm always going to talk about what I think. I'm always going to talk about my thoughts. I've always tried to be an open book with you guys. That's going to turn some people off. It's going to make some people go away. And that's fine. I'm not going to run from that. I have to be authentic on this show and just hope that the people that appreciate the authenticity, whether they agree with my words or not, stick around and watch the show. Some people don't. Some people need to live in that echo chamber of, if you're not saying what I want you to say or doing what I want you to do, make me laugh for 2 hours. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. I used to go, oh, God damn it, that would make me mad when I was doing sports talk radio full time and I would stick to sports. Fuck you. God, that drove me crazy. Stick to sports guy. It's like, what makes Tucker Carlson a fucking expert? What makes Don Lemon a fucking expert? They have an opinion just like me. The difference is they polished it up and they say what you want to hear. And since I don't, I need to just shut up. God, it drives me insane. It's like I'm not affected by politics in this country, even though I live here. Stick to sports guy or stick to comedy guy, which, by the way, as a stand-up comic, part of our job that we like to think this anyways is to make social commentary. But anytime a comic does, they're like, hey, just stick to being funny, man. Fuck you. Damn, Trucker Taco, you working? That sucks. Hey, what's up, Juan? Don't worry about it, man. White Magic said, I love being hated, though. I love being booed. Even more just gets me so hyped. I don't know why. That's a weird thing. White Magic, I'm not going to lie. I think, and I'm not trying to play psychologist here, do you love being hated or do you just love the attention? I don't think you love being hated, White Magic. I think you love the attention of the hate. No one likes to be hated. No one likes that to be the most unpopular guy in the room or at school. No, I don't agree. I don't think you do. I think deep down, if you went to a psychologist, they'd be like, you think you love the hate, but you really love the attention. It's just my uneducated opinion on it. Anybody else want me to psychoanalyze them? Rev said hatred is energizing. When people feel helpless or disempowered, hating another becomes a way to climb out of those feelings. We redirect our personal pain to an external, well-defined target. House, I don't know what website you got that from, but you should cite your source. That was really good. Oh, shit. Look who showed up. Joseph Blake. I had a lot of hate towards this dude I used to work with. Now I have a dream to see us work together again. Oh, my God, yes. I have a dream too, Joel. One day, fat dudes and handsome guys can do a show together. Oh, I didn't know you were here, Joel. My bad. Oh, my God. Tony, no one compliments you on your looks, dude. I've seen you in person. You look like if they made a Hispanic Mr. Potato Head. Just saying. Well, did y'all have to work today, Joel? Was there a show today? Were you, was there a press box today? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was late to my own show, so, you know. This is how it goes. The hammer has arrived. Yes, indeed. The hammer is here. All right, let's get to some fun and shenanigans. Joel, you're just in time to watch a movie trailer with us. Oh, my God. Yeah, we talked about your Packers. Joel, I'm not going to spoil it, but I think they might be Super Bowl bound. Yeah. I think that the two teams I had in the running for my loyalties when I jumped ship from the Texans could be in the Super Bowl this year. Remember, if you guys will remember, before they would fire Bill O'Brien and said, all right, I'm going to either be a Packers fan or a Chiefs fan. I think that's your Super Bowl. Yeah. So I hope that's the case for you. Go Chiefs. Oh, damn. Rachel hating on Joel. All right, let's get to this trailer here. Peace out, homie. Love you, Joel. Be safe out there, brother. All right, here's this. So in my show prep, I always try to find fun stuff, cool stuff, new stuff, pop culture, whatever. And I saw an article about this new trailer for a Nicolas Cage movie. Now, I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan per se, but I love some of his movies. I don't think he's a great actor. I think he does good in like, well-written movies. But if I'm ranking actors in ability, Nick Cage ain't cracking the top 10. Just ain't happening. But I was like, okay, well, let's see, because Nick Cage makes some weird movies, some crazy stuff. He don't give a shit about, he's going to do what he does, right? He reminds me a little bit of like, he's in the Travolta, Keanu Reeves class of actor. Eclectic, a little off-kilter, not mainstream blockbusters necessarily, although some of his movies have been blockbusters, but he's going to make what he makes. I don't know what the fuck this is. Let's just watch it together and then discuss. Fuck did I just watch? What on earth did I just watch? Some of you are so jazzed over this, and listen, different strokes for different folks. Huggins from way downtown. Huggins said, you tell us hate is wrong, and then you show us that trailer. Look at some of you guys are so jazzed. Rev and Marsha and D-Mata and God. Rachel said, I feel like there's a very mixed response in the chat about the trailer. Look, I don't mind horror flicks. I don't mind horror flicks or horror flicks. That just looks stupid. I don't know of another word to describe it. Let me go to the dictionary. What's another? Here you go. What's another? Okay, that's not what I needed. Oh, I got to go over here to Typey Cam. What's word for stupid? That movie is dull. That movie is thick. What? Thick? Where did I get thick from? Hold on. I want to change here. That movie is dull, dumb, foolish, futile, ill-advised, irrelevant, laughable, ludicrous, naive, senseless, short-sighted, simple, trivial. I feel like that kind of sums it up. Brandon said, definitely gonna go watch this. It's a knockoff of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, Five Nights at Freddy's wannabe. Yeah, I don't know why I said thick, Rach. That wasn't even on the list. I don't know how that. Oh, thick is on the list. I take that back. The second column says dummy, loser, rash, thick, unintelligent, brainless, dazed, deficient, dense, dim, doltish, dopey, gullible. Trucker Taco said whack, awful, horrible. Shallow and pedantic. I don't think pedantic is on here. Pointless, puerile, out to lunch, simple-minded, sluggish, stolid, stupefied, thick-headed, unthinking, witless. Thick is a very UK term. Oh, really? Half-baked, half-witted, idiotic, imbecilic, inane, indiscreet, insensate. Insensate. Now who's stupid? Meaningless, mindless, moronic, nonsensical, obtuse, out to lunch. Damn, even the stoner said he wouldn't watch it. Guys, let's be real. let's break this film down for a minute, shall we? I was in the Wonderland. Like right here, I'm thinking, okay, what's gonna happen is, oh yeah, I guess it would be considered a.
Now it's time for a film session.
Man, I haven't used that in forever. Now, here's the thing, right? So here, what they let us know is that he got the flat tire. Somebody planted the spikes, gave him the flat tire, and he's a badass because he's drinking and driving, whatever. It's about here when he shows up.
Spend the night cleaning Willie's Wonderland?
You spend the night cleaning Willie's Wonderland, I'm going to let you go. Willie's Wonderland sounds like a porn. And this is supposed to be like Chuck E. Cheese, I guess. So here's my thought when I saw this. What a glorious movie moment this is here with Nick Cage giving us the what's his name from CSI Miami. Well, I guess I'll go in there and just be their puppet. Yeah! So I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna go clean this Chuck E. Cheese or whatever the fuck, Willy's Wonka's Wonderland, and a bunch of bad guys are gonna show up trying to rob the joint, and he's gonna defend it and take them out and save the day. And no, it's the bad guys are the fucking puppets. Are you shitting me? The fucking showbiz bear is the guy that's gonna murder Nick Cage? All right.
Deal. You are officially on staff.
Now, one, why would he have to wear that shirt? Although, mark my words, people in the chat, mark my words. That shirt will be available to buy on the internet.
On staff.
Mark my
Let's
words.
get the hell out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
This place has a dark
Also,
history.
why is he so into the
I
cleaning?
know
Is he
the story
OCD?
I told you. It's a lie. You're here to be a human sacrifice.
Okay. See, this is, I feel like, right there is when I lost it and thought, all right, this is too campy. This is the moment when I was like, nope, this is corny. Right here. That is cheeseball. That right there. That is just straight up cheeseball.
Machines got out.
It's your birthday.
Nobody's
Oh,
safe.
boy. Hey, titties. Now, here was when I was back in.
Safe.
I was out. Now I'm back in. You know, if there's nothing that can't save a movie, if there's one thing that can save a movie, it's a good old fashioned heaving bosom. That's how you keep people interested in your movie. If you're like, hey, so we're going to have this rat and this bear that plays the drums go out and kill this man who could obviously just fucking leave if he wanted to. It's great. Hey, we're going to get out of here. Let's go. And then everybody's like, this is stupid. And they're like, wait, we got titties. Everybody's like, all right, I'm back in. It's kind of how this goes. What is this? Look up the trailer for Jiu-Jitsu? Oh, no. Is that a thing? I'm going to have to look up that next. Eric said, nothing says Valentine's weekend like a stupid, scary movie. Is that true? I don't know. I'm not a big horror flick guy. I've watched some. I just don't really get into it. And by the way, the mama here, not the mama, I'm just sorry.
Boy, man, a few words.
Now, the question is this. If you notice, he said,
I enjoy a man a few words.
I enjoy a man a few words. Does Nick Cage talk in this movie at all? That's the question. I don't know if he has any lines other than, ah! Oh, by the way, sweat check. Not bad. You guys are really into this. That's good, though. Look, I'm hating on it for the purpose of entertainment. I would probably never watch this movie. Some people really loved Sharknado. Not me. Yeah, and it's like silly, scary, just not my genre. Not my thing. Silly, funny. Now, let's talk. Tommy Boy, Airplane, Blazing Saddles. You give me silly, funny, I'm in. And I don't know why I included Tommy Boy in the same class as Airplane and Blazing Saddles, because it's obviously not. But for me, Tommy Boy, one of, if not my favorite all-time movie, just still doesn't begin to approach the level of Blazing Saddles and Airplane. And even I can admit that about my favorite movie. But I like silly funny. Silly scary. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not a scary movie guy. Like the horror genre has never been my thing. I mean, I've watched a couple Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just, but I guess because I have a hard time getting into, oh, well, this is real. This could, like, there could be like humor. To me, the funniness and the humor, obviously it's not, it's what I do, but it's also a part of life. But like, you know, some guy going to clean Chuck E. Cheese and then getting murdered by a bunch of puppets is just, I can't, like, Andy Huggins said it best about comedy, and I believe this is true about movie making. Andy said, when you write a joke, and this was some advice that he gave me and has given other comics, when you write a joke, you have to keep a toe in reality. You have to keep 1 foot in reality when you write that joke. So you can't just be like, so anyways, I hijacked a plane and I killed 30 people. And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot my wallet. And then I fucking went, everybody's like, bro, you didn't hijack a plane. You didn't kill 30 people. Shut the fuck up. Like, this isn't even a good joke. There's no way that happened. Which is why most jokes are based on a true story, but are not the truth. It's kind of like a movie, right? A movie can be based on a true story, but then they Hollywood the movie up. I cannot wrap my head around the storyline. So there's no toe in reality in this, or most movies like it, which is the problem I have getting into it. That's all. So what do you mean anything after 1990, Barry? You talking about my favorite movies? I mean, yeah, I guess. Anchorman, Step Brothers. I mean, again, silliness, though. I was just saying the other day I needed to watch Austin Powers again. But yeah, there's a lot of movies after 1990, you raggedy bitch, but that was when I grew up. That was my era. Meet the Feebles? That doesn't sound like anything. Tony said the day they remake Airplanes, the day I march on Washington. No, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you. We'll do a million comic march. Raw is a messed up horror film you would not finish watching. See, like Saw. Saw was a movie where I watched the first 2 of the 20 that they've made. I just don't know, like, I know there's evil people out there, but it, you know, if you made a movie about Silence of the Lamb. Silence of the Lamb was a scary movie. Silence of the Lamb had a toe in reality. Like, there could be a guy like that, Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Like, there's guys, Hannibal Lecter could be a guy. He could actually exist. This fucking Muppet shit, come on, famo. There's no toe in reality. What about Tommy Boy Part 2? Fuck Tommy Boy Part 2. Oh, you're talking about Black Sheep. Yeah. Yeah. Raw is way too highbrow for Barry. Here's the thing. I love that if you don't, how do I put this? I like when people underestimate my intelligence just because I'm funny, silly, goofy. I love that. It's always nice. Seven, rooted in real life. 7, very intense. I think I saw that. I think that was pretty good. Scary movies growing up were just comedies to us. I don't know. I don't know. I can't get behind that. Now, here's something else. I can't get behind this. some chick on Snapchat caught her boyfriend cheating on her. And instead of acting like a grown-up and flattening his tires, she threw glitter all over his apartment. Watch this shit. Now, I removed the sound. She put this to Carrie Underwood's I dug my key into the side, all that bullshit. This is what, but watch this. This is what a chick did to her boyfriend's apartment when he cheated on her. Oh, I guess we could do another. No, we're not doing it. I already did a film session. Look at that shit. First of all, how did she get in? It reminds me of that. It wasn't me. Forgot I gave her a key or whatever. So let's just look here. She's got this whole thing of glitter and she's walking around throwing glitter on the floor. First of all, you're the one dating a dude with a mattress on the floor, lady. You know what? This is definitely.
And now it's time for a film session.
Yeah, this is definitely a film session. So let's just start off here. So she's mad. She's got the glitter. She's obviously already been doing this. So we start in the bedroom where she dumps the glitter. We're going to get to this. Then she leaves. She goes to the bathroom. More glitter. Yay. More glitter. Yay. Okay. Hey, look at me. Glitter in the shoes. Glitter in the living room. Glitter on the couch. Thumbs up. I'm a badass. Okay. Now let's just start with the evaluation of who she chose. This is the bedroom where an igloo cooler is the TV stand. The mattress where he deflowered her and took her womanhood is on the floor. And it doesn't even have enough room to stand up. It's up against the wall. Like, who does that? And nice dent there. Okay, let's be real. I'm 99.999% sure that's an air mattress, which I have slept on before. Spoiler alert, there are no silent farts on an air mattress. So if you have a woman over, you ain't sneaking no farts out. Ladies, be warned. If you sleep on a dude's air mattress with him, 1, what the fuck are you doing with your life? 2, don't be trying to sneak a fart in the middle of the night. You will wake up the whole apartment complex. So this is the man she's chosen. I can't believe that a guy that would put a TV on an igloo cooler and his mattress on the floor would cheat on you. It's such a shame. Now, so she slings the blue glitter there, and then it's to the bathroom where she has apparently put glitter in the animal's food bowl. What a bitch. Here's where I draw the line. That dog or cat didn't cheat on you, you nasty bitch. But yet you thrown glitter in their food and water bowl. What kind of bullshit ass move is that? And then we go to the shower that's in the towels. The shower is disgusting and filthy and needs to be cleaned. There's a big old loofah though. So she throws the glitter in the shower, which, if we're being honest, is that a big deal? Who gives a fuck? I would have thrown it on the towels, and I would have thrown it, well, I was going to say on the carpet, but there's no carpet in this bathroom. All you do is just wash the glitter down the drain, you fucking imbecile. Why would you throw glitter in the tub? Of all the places to put glitter, the tub ain't it. We got 2 rolls on the back of the toilet paper, or on the back of the toilet. Can't put those underneath for some reason. We got glitter on the counter. Now that's kind of a dick move. What else? Let's take a look at the sink here. Okay. It's not bad. We got an empty basket. No reason for that to be up there. And then she's like, hey, I'm so cool. Look at me. I got on this jacket and it's got fur on it. Now, she threw glitter in his shoes, and that's not really the concerning part. What the fuck kind of shoes are these? What are we dealing with here? This guy looks like he got kicked out of a ska band for not knowing any of the notes. I can make that assessment just from these shoes. This guy goes to raves and takes MD 2020. That's definitely, this guy saves all the glow sticks from the raves that he goes to. This guy, I can tell this guy definitely, those aren't work boots. Those are tinnies. Those are like tennis shoes. Are those work boots? Malt Walker 200s. All right. So she's really excited about throwing glitter in his shoes. And then we get to the living room. Hey, not only do we have one carpet in here, we got two carpets and they don't match. What the fuck is the purpose of that carpet there? I mean, bro, put that in the bedroom. Put your mattress on it. What? But the back-to-back carpets like that is unnecessary. Coffee table looks good. All right. Can we talk about the Christmas tree with 2 ornaments on it? Listen, I'm being too judgy. Fuck them. What is that thing? Oh, that's the fireplace. Got it. Nice little futon couch thing going there. Listen, you don't have to have the fanciest. I was a single dude once. I didn't have a lot of money. I was fortunate enough to marry Nora, who showed me the ways. But here's the thing. We all have decisions to make. David Green said it's just part of the process. Yeah. Here's the thing. No, in house I disagree. Because you don't know their financial situation. My big takeaway from that is, one, just hang the TV on the wall. Why put it on the igloo cooler? 2, if you put your mattress on the floor, you could get a box spring for $50. 3, just because you don't have fancy stuff doesn't mean you don't have to clean your apartment. Wall mounts cost money. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, you bought that extra rug for no reason. You should just prioritize. Yeah, that's true, PK. They're probably like 20. I think the thing is this, when I was, how old was I? I lived on my own when I was 18. My mom kicked me out when I was 18 years old. And my apartment kind of looked like his. I didn't have a lot of money. But I kept it clean. And I made the right decisions when it came to decorating. It's important. Exactly, Zoe. I don't care. You don't have to have the fanciest of shit. Not everybody is financially able to buy a badass bed and the biggest TV and all that. That's why I don't give a shit about that. Just keep it clean. That was the thing. It's like, bro, that shit was dirty. Chandler said, my shit looked like this when I was in my early 20s. It was the best. Now my wife has 30,000 pillows that end up on the floor every night. Al said, when I moved out at 17, my living room had a couch and a wheelchair. Oh, someplace for you and your dad to sit. God damn it, House, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. What's fucked up is that he lived on the second story. Josh said, if I'm being completely honest, the only thing I decorated in my first apartment was the inside of the refrigerator, which was beer. But you don't have to be fancy. You just have to make the right decisions, Josh. I bet you, Josh, you strike me as the kind of guy that kept a clean apartment. You just didn't have a lot of shit in it. I don't judge that. But I mean, igloo cooler with the TV on it. Come on, fam. The bed. Come on, dog. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too judgy. Wow. I imagine just doing it. A lot of folks don't have a lot of things. I knew a family who slept on the carpet, not even pillows, just a sheet to cover the lay down and a sheet to cover them. I cried and bought them their beds. Again, Again, I get it. 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 But I'm still going to judge you. You don't have to have money, but you don't have to keep your place like that. You're not above being judged. I've been there. I've been there. All of us have been there. I think a lot of us, when we first get started, we've been there. Chandler said I had milk crates in the living room. I was fortunate enough where my mom had some leftover furniture that she gave me for my first place. But I remember I was a waiter. And so I would work extra shifts to buy a bed spring or to buy a box spring and the frame for the bed. Because I didn't want my mattress on the floor. That's it. Took extra shifts. That's how it goes. My foster brother, my foster brother slept on the floor his whole childhood. He didn't have his first bed until he moved in with us. Fact. Rev said, I refuse to not judge their furniture when she spent that much on glitter. I don't know if that was her place or their place or his place. I feel like that was his place house. I feel like that was his place. Okay. What else did I have on the list here? I had one other thing. So the glitter, the cheating video. Oh, then there's fucking this guy. So this dude on the left is the same dude on the right. He was 5'11" on the left. This dude's from Dallas. His name is, let me see here, Alfonso Flores. He's 28 years old. He's from Dallas, Texas. He was 5'11", and then he went to this surgeon, where was it? Dr. Kevin Parshad, who works at the Limplast X Institute. He had always wanted to be tall, so he goes to this Limplast X Institute, who says they can make you taller. He went in 5'11". He left 6'1". What they did is broke his legs in half, expanded the legs with this expanding rod, and then let the bone grow back in the space, which made him taller. His hair was 6 foot. He was 5'11". Let me read to you what they do. I'm going to read this. Where'd it go? Because this is super creepy. To achieve his new height, Alfonso's legs were broken in 2 places and a state-of-the-art telescopic rod was implanted in the cartilage of the bone. The device was then pulled apart gradually so that it slowly separated the 2 bone segments. New living bone then grew to fill the gap created, increasing the overall length of the limb. That sounds awful. That sounds painful. I don't know if that's worth it. So he always wanted to be a basketball player. That's why he wanted to be tall. He said he wanted to be tall like his heroes, Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant, and his dad. I can't imagine that walking around on these modified legs would feel good. I feel like it would hurt. I feel like there would just be like, oh, it's going to rain, my legs hurt. Or, oh, it's cold outside, my legs hurt. I don't know, man. There are a lot of things I would change about me. But at the end of the day, I'm like, this is how Jesus made me. So this is just what you get. I'm short, pudgy, pasty, hook nosed, not to the left or right, D-Mata, you raggedy bitch. Hook like that. Got that from my mama. I think you got to figure out how to love yourself, not put yourself through that kind of pain. Like, who wouldn't want to be taller? Every dude under 6 foot wants to be taller. I ain't going through all that. I don't give a fuck that much about being taller. That's not only was that expensive, I bet. I think it was, did I see it was $20K or something like that? Oh, they didn't have a price. Man, that shit would hurt. But he said on a scale, they asked him about the pain. He said it was a 4 out of 10 the following day. I feel like if you break my bones, separate the bones, and then put some shit, I don't, ugh. He said it wasn't as much pain as they thought he would be to anyone else considering it. He said, as long as you've taken care of yourself, take it slow, and you're careful with your lens after the surgery, you should be in really great shape. Would you guys do that? How many of you out there, if you had the money was no problem? Cece giving Rev shit. I'm 5'8" and I'm good with it. Cece's like, bro. Jesus Perez is 5'3". He said, fuck that. I'm happy. How many of you would do this? Now look, I can't believe I'm the one telling you guys don't get too judgy. People get cosmetic surgery all the time. Bigger titties, bigger ass, fix their nose, whatever. What's the difference? I don't know. I would be too worried about the pain. I don't know. Hey, Rach, what's up, Rach? Not Rach, Rachel, I should say. Y'all, Rachel used to own the comedy club that was my home club here in Houston. She lives in Minnesota now. But she checked in, she said, but then he doesn't need to make as much money. He's thousands of dollars more attractive now. I don't think I could do it. I think the pain would be too much. I'm a wuss when it comes to pain. Devon said, hell no, I would get my my tallywhacker bigger first. I don't know of a dude that wouldn't. I think every dude in here would be like, oh, it's how much? For how long? I'm in. Not a COVID cough. All right, you guys. That's it. That's all I got for you. Oh, there was this guy. I did find this story, which that's, if you guys don't know, that's 713 Hooligan. I'm just kidding. That's not Josh. But this guy, guess what this guy got arrested for? Go ahead. Take a guess what this guy got arrested for. Go ahead. What did this guy get arrested for? Yes! A dude in a don't do drugs shirt got arrested for doing drugs in the don't do drugs shirt. I mean, that's not, he got arrested for the drugs, but he was wearing the don't do drugs shirt when he was arrested for doing drugs. You just gotta love the irony of life, right? It's a beautiful thing. And no, that's not Josh. Just looks like it. Oh boy. His eyebrow game is fucked up. Oh, I didn't notice that house. Wow. I think I'm getting to the point, speaking of that, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to get my eyebrows cleaned up. I think, hold on. Oh, that's as close as it can go. But I think I need to get some, I need to get this cleaned up, and then the top maybe a little bit. I don't want to get them waxed. I don't know. I think I need to get them cleaned up. They're okay. I'm happy with them. But that guy's was bad. I shaved my underarms now. I might as well do my eyebrows, right? I mean, Francisco said I get my ears waxed. I can't tell if you're trying to make a joke or if that's a thing. Barry, go to Harden when the ladies there will thread you right. I don't know about the threading. Can I just like shave it? Can I just shave them? And that's the other thing. The shadow makes them look thicker than they are. I don't know. I don't think I have bad eyebrows. I should stream a threading session. Does it hurt? Does the threading? Because I noticed, here's why. Yeah, I shaved my pitch, Chandler. Yeah. We talked about this a long time ago. Yeah. I sweat like a beast. And the hair actually doesn't do you any favors if you sweat a lot, because the sweat pools on the tips of your hair and it gets your shirt wet faster. So if you shave, you don't have that big of a problem. It actually cuts down on the sweat rings on the shirts. And it's just nicer. Highly recommend it, guys. Well, tell me, Chandler, why are you hanging on to your armpit hair? Tell me the truth. I mean, I already shaved my balls and the whole region. What do I need armpit hair for? You don't need it. It's I'm telling you, you'll feel like a sexy bitch once you shave your underarms, Chandler. I promise you. Guys, do yourself a favor. Yes, Chandler, I shaved the region, and this is what I shave. I shave there, and I shave there, and then occasionally I shave here. I'm telling you, Chandler, you will feel amazing. Just try it one time. It'll grow back. If you don't like it, it'll grow back. But I promise you, shave your pits, shave your balls, and your pubic area. I mean, no, it don't itch. I mean, down there, it might for like half a day, but then the more you shave it, the more you get used to it. It's like your face. Does your face itch when you shave? It did at first, maybe. I promise you, guys out there, no, two different razors. If you, D-Mata said he would get a penis extension before he got an extension to make himself taller. I'll give you a quick bit of advice. If you'll shave your pubes, it makes it look bigger. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a great way to add an inch. Just shave the hair. Looks bigger. I mean, it's not, but it looks bigger. No, not a third hour, Joel. I'm just making up because I started late. 2:08 because Katie's keeping. I thought it was 2:05. Barry out here with the if it doesn't grow back, you can get your money back. No, it'll grow back. It's alternative lawn talk. Francisco said you don't use the straight razor on your balls, do you? No, I actually have a razor that I bought just for my balls. And then I used a straight razor or like a regular razor on my underarms, but not the same one that I use on my face. So I have three razors. I have the face razor and a straight razor for the hairline, which I need to use. And then I have a razor for the underarms in the shower. And then I have a wet, dry electric razor for the pubic area. And it's got like, the adjustable blade so I can do different levels. If I'm feeling fancy, if I want to keep a winter coat down there, but still want to keep it trim. Yeah. Also, you know how many mirrors White Magic would need to shave his dick? Yes. D-Mata said girls' razors work better for your nuts. You still cut them. But you got to be careful. Don't get the wrong electric razor. It's like trying to shave a ball of gum. Barry's going to have Chewbacca armpits in 20 years. Why? Why would I have Chewbacca armpits? Katie said Manscaped is a good brand. Yeah. I haven't used it. Venus razors. I just get regular ass razors. I don't know. Okay. That's enough. Let's get out of here. Oh, I forgot about the new song. forgot about the new song. Well, we did it. I was late. I was ill-prepared. But we made it through. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know a lot of you had a day off. I appreciate you being here. I'll do better tomorrow. I promise. Until then. Hey, Zoe. Until tomorrow, you guys.